Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام.
Alhamdulillah. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا
فلا هادي له.
هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله اما بعد. Okay, so this is part two of our discussion on the lawsuit. Um, Abdul Rahim, I believe, right? That's right
Mhm.
here.
All right.
Abdul Rahim and against the TMOA cult, the Muslims of the Americas. We covered the initial complaint last week, and I believe we ended off on like section one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we finished the first count. We are on the beginning of count two.
Yes. So we're going to just jump right back into it, and we're going to try to finish up a lot of these initial documents and save the best for another show, because it might even take a show or two to actually finish the juicy part of all this. But we'll just jump right into it. So let me share my screen. Share this. Come on. What are you doing? That's the one thing about this restream is it be having a lot of kinks sometimes. There we go.
It's a little ghetto. It's fine.
We're used to it.
Can't all be Discord.
All right. Count two: wrongful eviction, breach of contract, seeking compensatory damages. So remember, the first count wasn't even getting in. It didn't even get to the eviction part. This part's talking about the actual wrongful eviction. So on part 31, it says Rahim reaveres, whatever that word means, the facts set forth in count one of this complaint, except for the averment as to remedy. Legal words. I don't know what that even means.
Legal jargon, yes.
Yeah. And renting to, so basically it's saying something like he's reaffirming the stuff that was already said, and has not been like, there hasn't been a remedy to it. So on renting to Rahim the land on which the mobile home is located, TMOA entered into a lease agreement governed by the Virginia Residential Landlord and Tenant Act, the Landlord-Tenant Act. So the thing is, with TMOA is what governs, like, so people are just thinking, okay, there's no lease agreement, right? And this, you'll see when we get to it, this is what TMOA's, and it's very sad thinking about it. It's like, oh, there's no documented paperwork of a lease agreement. Because usually you go to a landlord and rent an apartment, a house or something, there's some kind of lease agreement, you sign it, and then you have like a lease, right? But that's not the only thing that constitutes a lease agreement. And if TMOA was smart, they would actually see this and actually go to the Virginia Residential Landlord and Tenant Act and actually go find out what entails a lease agreement according to the law. And they would find that even without the written paperwork, they're actually engaged in a lease agreement.
Let me get straight into it real fast before you continue, because just straight off the bat, that's what TMOA does. They don't understand. They just change the meaning or the word or the phrasing of something and then act like it's not what it actually is. Yeah. If you're blackmailing somebody and you tell somebody you're whitemailing them, no, you're still blackmailing them. You're calling it whitemail, but it's still blackmail. So you're going to see that a lot in this case with the charges being brought against them, especially once we get to that dismissal. Then you're going to be able to see all the contradictions and things. So we're going to probably have to highlight Sal's his complaint against them, so we can point out all the hypocrisy, contradiction, and lies in the dismissal. So as you can see, they were just saying that they're going to say and claim, what they're claiming is they never signed a lease agreement, had a lease agreement, to try to argue the fact that they didn't charge people rent and he never paid rent, which they're going to get exposed, and it's going to prove to not be true. Just like old girl got up there on the stand and was telling all-faced lies, saying they don't collect membership dues.
It's not required.
It's the same thing. It's simple. A liar is going to lie. He's going to swear on anything, do anything. He's going to lie. Like I
And
told
just
you in the
so
last show,
so
no
people
honor
could,
among thieves.
yeah, and just so people that are watching this, whether whatever cult system you are from, whether it's the Tmoa cult or the Dream cult, you have to recognize that if you are upon truth, what is the reason for lying? What is the reason for hiding things? What is the reason for being deceptive? That just shows that should be a major red flag of like, why are they? We all know, like for instance, Tmoa, we all know that you pay membership dues. We all know that each land has some form of like local collections that people have to pay to actually play, to actually belong to the land, whether it's security fees, land tax fees, maintenance, whatever you want to call them. So you're giving money. And when you have documented evidence of your leaders going up and telling people, we don't collect any money, you should ask yourself, well, why are they hiding that? If it's so good, if what we're doing is right, why are they hiding that? Even like in the Dream cult, if we're upon the truth, why do we need to make fake videos about scholars supporting us? Why do we need to make AI videos? Why, when Brother Jafar came on a live stream and asked questions and was debunking their beliefs, did they delete the video? Why are they hiding things? It should be a clear red flag that this stuff is wrong. That you're upon falsehood. We're not hiding anything. Like I'm not saying we're like the ultimate bearers of truth, but like when you see people are doing right, they don't hide anything. They don't like even if it goes against us, we're still going to tell the truth, right? So there's that.
And just real quick, like all cults, in some aspects, the biggest thing for them is to avoid having a paper trail, right? You want to avoid having things tied back to you. If you're the leader, management, whatever, the cult leader, you want to avoid having it tied back to you. So for Tmoa, this is probably their biggest fear, is having to go to a court system, legal system, and prove who they are, right? Because everyone in Tmoa makes a living somehow, right? And people in Tmoa admins, they don't have jobs, right? So when it gets down to, okay, like, how do y'all make an income? What jobs do you guys have? Umnor, for example, what do? You're a widow. You go on trips and you have kids. That how you make money? No. So eventually, it's gonna get back to her. It's like, okay, how do you make a living?
And to touch on that a little more after you're done.
Good. Good.
I didn't want to cut you off. You were finished?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So to add on to what you added on with Jaffer, that's what happens. Like you said, the last thing they want is a paper trail.
Yeah.
So this is the last thing they want is this paper. So once we actually get to court, this is their paper trail at some point is going to get requested, and they're going to have to show documents that they do not have, that are, if they do show, the likelihood of them being forged in fraudulent documents is high, which is a whole nother case that can be opened up, or they'll be opened up for themselves. This is why they're doing everything in their power to even stop it from getting to that point. And y'all going to notice the same pattern that they're doing once we get to their dismissal. Y'all going to be able to see it.
And for people that come from like a Christian background, think about churches, right? Churches claim to never make any money because there's some nonprofit organization, whatever the hell, but the pastor's rolling around in a Rolls Royce. And like, where did Pastor Thomas get the money for a Rolls Royce Phantom? Like, $400,000 is crazy, but there he is, right?
You go down to those southern communities and like, especially like the smaller towns and stuff. Cause like my grandmother's from or my family on my father's side is from South Carolina, a small town, and surrounded by a few other small towns. And I remember as a kid, one of the things I remembered is that we were always trying to play with like the pastor's kids when we went to visit our grandmother, because they were just basically typically the richest people in town.
I wonder why.
Every little town, like they had the best house, the best things, and yeah, you could see the transgressions right there. It's like the person that's supposed to be the holiest, the person that's supposed to be most disconnected from this world, has the most worldly things out of everybody else, and you're gonna see it. Dream cult people, I know you guys are spying in and watching. You're gonna see the same exact thing happen with your cult leaders. You guys are already taking them to the malls, buying him nice suits. I wonder if you guys are already paying his car notes and paying for like this is what happens, and we'll see it. It'll get worse and worse and more obvious. But you guys will be sucked down the rabbit hole, and this is just evidence of just falsehood. Every single part, and this is just the complaint. Like once we get to the stuff that TMOA actually submits, it's just lie after lie after lie after lie. It's kind of ridiculous.
And the thing that y'all start seeing,
right?
Also,
and last thing before we even, go ahead, Mubarak.
That you start seeing is how. So the cult leader usually gets a lot of benefits in the forms of maybe cars, clothing, houses, women, or whatever. But the other telltale sign, you have to look at the people, the handlers, the people around them. They really probably get more of the total, money that's usually leached off of or usurped from the followers. And it could be dozens, it could be 10, 12, however many people who are in that next level down. Cult leader in the next level down, those are usually the people that clean up really nicely. And it's all going to be under the guise of it's for the leader. It's to help the leader. It's because I'm security for the leader. I'm protecting the leader. I'm the driver for the leader, or whatever it might be. But if you look at those people, and those are the people who are usually getting a lot of the funds as well.
Right, this stuff is right in front of our eyes, and you already know a thief is a liar. A liar is a thief. We know they're stealing, so we know factually that they're lying. And one thing about lies and liars, they have to continue lying to get their fulfillment and continue to lie to cover their lies, which leads to more lies. And then it's funny because all those lies are doing nothing but making the full circle. And then it's going to expose the truth that you tried to start, the truth that you were trying to avoid and ran from and started the lie with. All your lies are just going to full circle back and then expose the truth that you were lying about in the first place. And that's exactly, inshallah, what's going to happen with y'all. Y'all are exposing yourselves. Y'all telling on yourselves. Y'all are literally just admitting everything.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's going to be shown, inshallah.
All right, so point 33 says the facts set forth in count 1 of this complaint constituted an unlawful and wrongful eviction of Rahim by TMOA in breach of prohibition against wrongful eviction set forth in the Landlord and Tenant Act. So yeah, basically wrongfully evicted. We know that. As a result of wrongful eviction, Rahim has sustained and will continue to sustain wrongful loss of his right to possession of the mobile home, and has sustained and will sustain the cost of hotel stays and the interest on such costs, and has been deprived and will be deprived of the quiet enjoyment of his home. All right, so establishing the basis for the lawsuit and the injury and all that. As a result of the facts set forth in this count of this complaint, Rahim is entitled to entry of a judgment in his favor against TMOA for compensatory damages. Okay, and when we're going through this, one thing I want you to really pay attention to is the language. If anybody's dealt with court stuff, legal stuff at all, whatever, listen to the language of Sal's lawyer, their petition, right? Very, very legalese. This is a legal document. Like you could tell the lawyer knows what he's doing. But just remember this type of language and what's being said. Like, they're referencing laws. Remember, we talked about, like, even in Islamic stuff, they're making references to actual source material, the Landlord Tenant Act and all that, right? And you'll see a very big difference when we hear the language of stuff submitted by TMOA. it's just, I don't know how, like, the lawyer they have. Well, we'll get to that anyway.
Yeah.
Count 3. Seeking injunction prohibiting defendants from disturbing Rahim's occupancy of his home. So basically, seeking an injunction. When you seek an injunction, you want the judge to, like, basically give a temporary order to stop or continue to do something while we figure this out, pretty much. You're saying, judge, order something so that while we figure this out, something can still happen. So basically
stop the bleeding.
Yes, pretty much. That's what it is. Stop the bleeding. So they're saying, judge, order an injunction so that they can let Salman go home. They can't disturb him, right? And now they're going to give their support for it, why they want it. Rahim reavers the facts set forth in count 1 and 2 of his complaint and has no remedy. 37, because of the facts set forth in 1 and 2 of this complaint, there are grounds for this court to enter an order enjoining the defendants from an interference with Rahim's right of possession of his home, including any action by the defendants to come to the mobile home. Okay? So basically saying it's almost like an order of protection, if you want to put it in those terms. They're saying Sal should be able to go home, and everybody from Tmoa should be barred from going to his house. Okay, that's what they're asking for. And they're saying Rahim cannot obtain an adequate remedy at law. Okay, so this is an important part right here. Okay, call for trial by jury as to counts 1 and 2.
Yep.
Rahim calls for trial by jury as to count 1 and 2. So this is very important. This is a very important point of the case, because this is going to be tried and decided on by jury, okay? Which plays heavily in Sal's favor because, well, all Sal has to do is go in there and tell the truth. All the witnesses just got to go in there and tell the truth. Mm-hmm. And people around that's going to be doing this are going to know of Tmoa. They're going to know of the people on the land. They're going to know of the cult compound, and they're going to have whatever opinions they want. But the truth is actually going to be out there now for the public to know, like, yes, this is a cult. Because remember, we talked about it in other accounts about this being a cult. So now anybody that's open, anybody, put it out there, Sal, tell your lawyers, anybody that's willing to go in there and testify that can give proof and evidence that Tmoa is being a cult is open to coming to being a witness at this trial, which includes R2F. So, I mean, just imagine being part of a jury when you're hearing about this cult and you're going to hear testimony of like, yeah, their leader has millions of dollars. They fight over literally gold bars. They're responsible for assassinations. They plan terrorist attacks. They've done all this stuff. They married little children, and meanwhile, they collect millions and millions of dollars from their members, and they kick this poor innocent guy out of his home. The jury's going to eat that up. Tmoa doesn't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that just made something pop in my mind. Everything you name is the same thing that we have books of evidence for, and our family members and Muslims and people that we care about won't even look at. But we can present that to the judge, and they're going to accept it immediately because it's the truth. That's actually shameful. Now that I actually think about it, that's disappointing. And the irony of this whole situation, once again, Allah is just bringing everything full circle, inshallah. And inshallah, when we win this case, I'm going to be all in everybody.
I mean, can you imagine?
Inshallah, I'm not joking.
Yeah. No, if this joke goes to trial, subhanallah, I mean, I might be the only witness they need. I'm serious. I might be the only one they need because, I mean, yeah. If they just say, okay, we're gonna call the R2F panel and associates as witnesses. I mean, that's it. It's over. It's over. There is no case. I mean, they want to talk about the origins, the history, the culture,
we got it all covered.
The facts, the money trail, the methodology, the hierarchy, how they use the hard tactics, the soft power tactics that they use, the peer pressure. Every level of this thing that the judge and jury, the jury especially, I mean, if it goes trial by jury, I mean, it's over. It's over, really. I mean, we got it covered. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to, and I'll already go ahead and say, Jafar said, if anyone wants to be a witness, let the lawyer know. Well, I'll go ahead and let y'all know. I will be a witness if you need me. Just let me know when and where.
And inshallah, we will for all the Tmoa acolytes, the women and children that will be commanded to go show up and show their support. Right? We're gonna be there too. We're gonna be there with our cameras. We're gonna be there with our media setup. So we're gonna have a nice little R2F show live on the front
interviews afterwards.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, Mahmoud, listen, what happened, fam?
Yes. So. We'll be there. We'll give salams to everybody. Y'all won't return them. Some of y'all will, but y'all get dirty looks. You know, it is what it is. We know how it is, right?
They can't.
So the conclusion. Oh gosh,
they dance real. I know.
So the conclusion, and this is key. And I mean, I gotta actually. I got a bone to pick with this part, but we'll cover it first. Wherefore, Rahim prays that the court enter an injunction preventing Tmoa and Haq from taking any further action. So they basically seeking an injunction, and they want to enter a judgment in favor of Rahim against Tmoa and Haq for $200,000 in compensatory damages and $350,000 in punitive damages. That's $550,000 that they're suing Tmoa and Ishmael for. Mm-hmm. Now, my beef with this is
ask for more.
You should have asked for like $3 million. I would have asked for exactly whatever that inheritance money was. I would have asked for $9 million. What can they tell you? Less? Like I would have asked millions of dollars. You know how much money they collect. Now you guys might think, oh, that's a lot.
Right. Nah.
They collect this in a year.
Stop it. They collect that in half a year or less. Months.
And now you're talking about what, 40 years? 40 years of them doing this to people? And you're like, I would ask for more. But here's the great thing. I mean, I don't know what the laws may differ by state, but there have been cases where trial by jury that the jury actually awards more than what the person actually asked for. So we still have that hope.
Inshallah. But before anybody sees these numbers and thinks they're huge, once again, what they are up against, as in Tmoa, they're nothing. They're pennies. And not just by dollar amount. The things that Sal has went through and how he's going to be affected from this day forward, you cannot put a dollar amount on there. And I cannot emphasize that enough. This is what's so bad about it is Tmoa, these dollar signs and these zeros, that's all they care about. That's literally all they care about. They don't want to pay this money. That's literally it. But they don't understand that this case has nothing to do with money. That's the underlying thing of what we're trying to accomplish and what Sal's trying to accomplish. Sal was taking them to court to get his God-given rights back. He has to go to non-Muslims to get allotted his rights that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him. You don't understand how shameful this is. You understand how pitiful this is. Y'all people need to wake up, and these are the people that y'all are following, calling honorable and all and whatnot. No, it's literally pitiful and shameful that we have to go and seek from the non-Muslims what we should already have, or we should be able to sort out amongst ourselves as Muslims.
I mean,
and real fast. Once again, this is to protect the other members as well. The current ones that are still like, i.e. Mujtaba, we covered them in the last one. This is to protect you, because if we win this case, they ain't never going to be able to do that again. All y'all stuff that y'all have, it's going to be protected, because they are never going to be able to do that again. I told you this is bigger than money, way bigger than money. Go ahead, Mubarak.
Man, I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, it's all right.
I'm dealing with
this.
this.
No, I saw something in the comments, and then I just forgot what I was about to say. But I was gonna say, I don't see any scenario of Tmoa ever actually being able to pay this money. Well, not that they're not being able to, but them actually doing it. Like I can't see them actually forking it over. I think, they might have to get some properties taken and sold and auctioned off, or maybe some assets get transferred into, Sal's name or something like that. But as far as them forking over the money, way too arrogant to do that. I can't see them doing it. But if they did, hats off to y'all. I mean, I don't think they would do it. But if they did it, it would surprise me. But I don't know if respect is the right word, but at least I'd be like, well, we said y'all had the money and y'all got the money. So Yeah, I don't.
Well, that's the interesting thing That's the interesting thing they're gonna have to face because, like you said, let's be honest. TMOA as an organization, as far as like their bank account, they don't have any money because the money goes directly from TMOA to Noor's personal pockets, right? Or the leader's personal pockets. So the question will be, okay, inshallah, everything works out the way it's supposed to work out, and Sale wins this case and gets awarded at least $550,000, right? Now TMOA has a question, or the question that they ask themselves. Okay, how are we going to pay it? So Noor, okay, Noor, are you going to come out of the membership dues and pay it? Which they do. If they do pay it out of that, then it's going to tell all of TMOA, like, oh yeah, like you said, all that money that R2F has been saying how much money we collect. Yeah, we actually do collect that much. It's going to put that all in the front. Everybody's like, wait, we actually have that much money?
No.
2, is Noor going to come out of her pocket to pay it? Which I doubt she's going to do that. That's not going to happen. She won't even come out of her own pocket to build her husband's grave. Right? She's like, I ain't paying for that shit. Right?
That's almost a guarantee.
Yep.
So then the third option.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Third option is, okay, well, let's start getting rid of, like Mubarak said, some of these properties. Now, look at you, TMOA cult member, living on, let's just say, like a low-level property, living on Marionville in New York, right? It's not the main land. It's like a secondary land. There's only like 4 or 5 families living there. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of that one. Now you're homeless, right? What are you going to do with your family, right?
I mean, could you imagine, the turning of the tables when Salman walks back up on that VA land and it's like, hey, yo,
get out.
You gotta go. You give him an apple with a real sheriff, with a real eviction notice.
But you know what? The amazing thing about it is, if all of them got transferred, say, into Salman's name, y'all actually all would be safe. He wouldn't even kick y'all off.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't charge you dues. Certainly wouldn't be charging you 20% or 35% and putting it in his pocket. A lot of them probably would move off the land, probably. Well, actually, some of them probably wouldn't even have the ability to move. But I can guarantee, because something's going to happen. As our friend Cake Pie said, if TMOA doesn't pay the judgment, the state will have to seize their lands and properties for them to pay the judgment. So this is going down one way or the other. I mean, I don't know if people realize how serious this is. I mean, if Salman wins the case, someone, some way, somehow is going to pay. And I don't think this is sinking in yet. Maybe, I mean, the way TMOA operates, they kind of operate in this little half Sufi, half mystical, half spiritual world or whatever. But in the real world, I don't see any way that they can win the case against Salman. I don't see any way that they can win without them incurring without them at least paying a significant portion, if not all, or maybe even more than what's listed here. Yeah. And y'all have to really start thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might want to start kind of just, send Sal a message and be like, hey, I always liked you or whatever. I mean, hey, we still cool, right? Or something. Just try to make sure.
Hey, you need a witness? What's up? What you need?
Hey, bro, that's crazy what happened to you. You think, like, if the admins have to testify in the court, right? Let's say it's Noor, Ahmed Pearson, it's K2. How much money do you think that they're gonna say that we make a year, just as admins? Like, if it's K2, he's like, I think like, actually, I make $0 a year from TMOA. It's all this, charity. Like, Noor is probably gonna say I make $0. Like, they're all gonna claim to make no money. So, like, it's gonna come back to them because, like, okay, well, what do you do for a job? Like, what's your job?
Living? You're hitting on something really, 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 really deep. Like, we don't even and when we talk this out, you start realizing more and more stuff. Like, we're not even grasping the full scope of how bad this could be for TMOA, right?
They have to expose so many secrets.
Right.
Yes, because one of the things that happens in these cases is, let's just say, inshallah, there's guilty. They're like, TMOA's guilty. The next thing there's 2 parts to these types of trials is you determine the guilt, right? If there's actually a case, right? Then the second part of these trials is determining how much they should pay.
Yeah.
Okay. So compensatory damages are damages basically compensating you for your loss. Okay. So like that's the stuff that Sal had to pay rent. He had to pay for hotel fees. He had to pay for like, eat out dinners and pay extra gas. They're going to actually calculate that based off of whatever extra expenses he had to pay for being kicked out of his home. And compensating for like some of like the loss and grief. The punitive damages is based off of like, we're punishing you so that you don't do this again. And now the punitive damages are squarely based off of how much the organization is worth, right? So they're going to have to determine, TMWA's got to prove how much they're worth. Of course, TMWA is going to, the thing is going to be like, okay, we need to prove we're not worth that much.
Mm-hmm.
The judge is going to say, prove it. They're going to have to come up with financial documents. They're not going to have any unless they have a certain individual that used to be my best friend forge some like he did last time. That's the only way they can do it, right? Don't do it. You know who I'm talking to. All right. The other thing is they're going to say, like Amr said, they're going to say, okay, well, Honorable Hussein Adams, Dr. Honorable Hussein Adams, what do you do for a living? Or you're a doctor, so what practice do you work at? Well, I'm not really a doctor. I work there. But now think about the trickle-down effect.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they're going to say, okay, well, how do you survive?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to show how he survives.
Yeah.
Tax returns, whatever, right? Oh, you know what that could trickle down to? The fact that his wife claims public assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I got public assistance fraud. Like so many different things.
It's going to go like this. I mean, if I was the lawyer, that's what I would ask. I would say, okay, so Mr. Hussein Adams, Dr. Hussein Adams, I see that you have not pulled a tax return since 1999 or whatever, and you just now started, filing the tax return in the last 2-3 years whenever you started working down at the little joint. So how are you surviving in these, I don't know, 20, 30, whatever, however many years, the last 20 years, how have you supported yourself or your family? Because before that, well, we're just volunteers or whatever. So how did you work?
I have like 4 wives.
I just, what was he gonna say? I received government. You had is this 2008 Toyota Sequoia, valued at whatever $48,000 at that time or whatever it might be. I don't know the cost, but I mean all these things that they're going to start like, how did you afford it? Well, it was a gift from the So are you telling me that the community bought and paid for this car outright for you? What services did you provide for that? So it's like it's a snowball effect. All of their finances, everything, every place that they because now I'm sure they probably own houses and different things in the city. I heard they have some property in Binghamton or whatever. So even that is going to be looked into. Like, how did you acquire this? How did you get the money up? How did you raise the funds? Paper trail. There's a thing called forensic accounting, where I'm sure you know about this, Jabba, where some of these people, I mean, you would think that, no one's going to know about this. They'll find the trail. They'll find the paper trail. Yeah. They'll hire a forensic accountant. And
you can't hide. There's certain things that, especially living in the West, you can't hide. Sorry. They get the best of them. They got Gotti. They got the best of them. You think you're smart. You think you can hide stuff. You think you can go in that court and lie. But we're not talking about. So like, they got busted even when they were trying to sue Martin Moyer and the Christian Action Network, right? But that was them suing somebody else. Now that someone's suing them, they're gonna have to demonstrate how much they're worth, and it brings into question all the top leadership, all the people that are claiming to be Shura councils and leaders and deputy directors and all these different things. It's going to call into question all of them. Guess what? They're going to find out about Noor's lawsuit and her inheritance. Like, oh, where did all this money come from? Oh, you have something pending in Pakistan? Oh, and this and that? Oh, you just bought another land in Virginia? All that's going to come into play to show that, okay, yes, this organization is worth millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
And they're gonna say, I mean, they can, like, for me, for instance, I can come and testify that I collected the taxes between this year and that year. Okay. the land dues or whatever. And I can testify truthfully, half of the percentage that we collected went straight overseas. This is where it went. Okay, and the other half of the percentage was supposed to spend on the local, and then that half of the percentage that was the total that was collected, still we had to keep back half of that. So really 75% of everything that was collected, or maybe even more, just in case of when they ask. So for people that have, even Salman had collected the taxes at one point in time, the dues at one point in time. So these things, they're going to have to answer the question, what do these dues go towards? They can lie to you and say, oh, they go to take care of the students that come over there. Okay, prove it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prove it. However, you said that it goes towards taking care of the students and to do different things, charity or whatever, but somehow after the Sheikh died, there's $5 million and 100 gold bars and all types of areas in the property. So there's this magical money that was given and went towards taking care of students and poor people or whatever. We can't really, there's nothing tangible to point that out, but we do somehow have found millions of dollars that the family is fighting over after that. So we can logically conclude that that's where the money went. So logically, that's where the money should come out of when it's time to pay for the damages, punitive and was the other one? Compensatory damages.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're just the average Tmoa Fulani and Fulani, right? Okay, because you've just been going along for the merry ride and you don't believe in any of this alternate mumbo jumbo and just trying to incite violence and just cause diversion and confusion in the ranks. Listen, this has to get you questioning, like, when the numbers come out, because trust me, the IRS does not play about their money.
Oh,
right?
No.
So when the numbers are coming out, and you are just the average Tmoa layman, and you see, damn, hold on, we generate how much money a year in Tmoa, and I'm over here driving on a bumpy ass road every day. Nah.
And still paying all the dues.
Still paying all the dues. Like I'm over here, I'm loyal. I had to pay for the Eid that I just attended. What is this? Where'd the money go?
Yeah, like in New York, they don't have a school, right? They have a makeshift school, and they like right now, right in New York, it was like 10 degrees, like it's cold as heck. They'll have to cancel school because the kids can't go to school when it's cold, and even if it's a little warmer when they do have school, they have to walk home to like use the bathroom, like because there's no bathroom, like little stuff like that. I hope it opens up y'all eyes. You're like, damn. Meanwhile, she could at least like shave some gold off of one of them bars and got us like at least a porta potty or something for our kids to go to the bathroom. Like little things like that. It just shows it time and time again. These people don't care about y'all. They don't care about y'all.
It's like the concept of if you know what a slumlord is, but a slumlord but worse. Like the slumlord, at least the slumlord who he might own like some of those low rent housing or public housing or Section 8 type housing where he owns a bunch of complexes or the complex with a bunch of units. And he basically does the bare minimum to keep them rentable, right? I mean, you're going to always have problems with, leaks and heat, water heater, all types of things, drafty, whatever it might be. And he just does enough, or she just does enough to keep you having to pay the rent. And that's it. And a lot of times he doesn't even do enough of that. But this is even worse than the slumlord because they just take your money and you don't get anything from it. It's amazing, really. It's sad, actually. But I would say probably once we get closer to the trial, we probably need to do a whole show. Maybe we can find someone who is a lawyer or who someone is, in law to kind of explain some of these things to the Tmoa people who might be tempted or pressured into testifying or something like that. There's a thing called perjury that you might want to look into and make sure you know exactly what perjury is and how it can affect your life. If you
pull it up, scroll. Can you, before you get to that, scroll to the bottom. You're up right there, right? What you were talking about, Mubarak. As you can see, this is exactly what's going to be on TMOA's document, anybody's document, and you're going to be sworn in. Every single one of you witnesses on TMOA's side and on South side, you have to be sworn in, and this is what you're facing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it right now. Penalty for perjury in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And while Joff was looking
All
at
right.
just think about like for people who would say, hey, the money that went overseas was for people to like stay and be students and learn. Everyone that went overseas stayed in Jelani's house. Jelani has a mansion overseas, many of them, and they stayed in living quarters in his house. So it wasn't like he was forking over money for hotels in Pakistan at all. So you can't have this misnomer of that. And of course, living in Pakistan isn't that expensive. So the U.S. dollar there stretches very far. They don't burn beds very well, besides him, of course. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all understand that properly. I mean, sure, they fed him well, but y'all over here eating lavish foods over there in India, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Look at that.
And real quick, Unk made a good point by saying perjury has already started with
Right.
the volunteer BS. Because think about this. All right, Ismail said, "I'm a volunteer."
Well,
So say they bring
Ismail, who?
yeah, Kari, Khalifa, not Khalifa, back to Khalifa, Kari, back to Kari, not back to Kari, Ismail. Okay, he's just a volunteer. Now think about this. They call Fulan up to the stand and say, do you know Kari Ismail Haq? Yeah, I know him. I've known him for 10 years. What is his role in Tmoa? Oh, he's just a volunteer. So here we have a document that says he is the Khalifa or the mayor or whatever the case may be. What do you understand about this, sir? You know, that's
I never see that before, man.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I just told him as so and so. You know, just friends.
You know how? Do you know
they
how
pull up
dumb
the
it?
WhatsApp chat. They be like, "Yo, this is this chat from 2021 where Fulan said, Assalamu alaikum, Mayor.
Mayor Sahib.
Mayor Sahib is crazy.
Do I have permission to travel to go see my wife or whatever? Oh, so he's a volunteer, but he seems like he's an authority over you. Can you explain to me why you go? That's so don't get yourself caught up in this. Is it worth what's here on the screen? Perjury in Virginia? I don't think so.
1 to 10 years in prison, 12 months in jail, $2,500. Do you guys have that risk? Are you willing to take that risk? And the sad thing is, for let's just use our common sense a little bit. This is and I was thinking about this today because there's certain things that TMOA leadership does where you're like, man, because there's for cults really to work, there has to be at least a few people that actually are scammers. Like they know it's fake and they have to know how to be able to navigate both worlds to be able to make things work. Mm-hmm. So in a regular situation, the person that knows yeah, I know this is all fake, so I got to go talk to these non-Muslims I'm in a real world. I got to operate like a real human being and operate in a real world. So I was thinking today, it's sometimes I think the stuff that they do is oh, this is a sign that they actually really believe in this stuff, or are they really just that incompetent? Because, for instance, he says, I'm a volunteer. TMOA is a non-profit organization. Most employees of non-profit organizations, officers and all that, are volunteers. You didn't actually say anything. You could be a volunteer and still be an officer or representative of an organization and still be held accountable. Mm-hmm. I'm a volunteer. Yeah. How many people on a church board are volunteers? Right? Come on. Common sense. Just think a little bit, TMOA. But
they're volunteers, but they're in the they drive the car that's owned by the church, and they live in a house that's owned by the church, and they they have access to the vacation house that is owned by the church and all these different things. So
yep.
Let me make this last point before we move on to this next page real fast, because I want to keep bringing everything full circle and keep focusing on what's most important. Like Mubarak was speaking on, if we do win this case, inshallah, and if Sal gets the properties in his name and stuff like that, that's a come up for y'all, whether y'all see it or not. Like you said, you automatically don't got to worry about membership dues and worry about other fees and mistreatment of a corrupt administration and things like that. But the biggest win, I keep telling everybody, gotta stay focused. This is bigger than money. The biggest win, if Sal was able to do that, as soon as he gets the deed to that property, that's a win against Sheikh immediately. A huge win against Sheikh immediately, because all that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half time stuff is done. Of course he can't. He's not going in trying to change the hearts of the people, because that's their cop out. Oh, you can't change the hearts. No. But him saying you aren't about to be on this land, preaching that, doing that, saying my Murshid this, my Murshida that, that's done. So that is the ultimate victory right there. And then that is helping y'all, whether y'all know it or not.
Listen,
that's helping y'all too.
If Sal, I mean, we gotta get like a what do you call them, a signed petition or whatever, right? If Sal wins, inshallah, Sal wins. I'd rather him just get his money, honestly, right? But if he ends up like owning VA land, Mubarak, please start planning the first Juma Khutbah.
The khutbah is gonna be 3 hours.
This about to be insane, but the entire Mubarak is going to be discussed. All right, the entire one.
Oh man,
it's gonna be 3 hours, yo.
We're gonna skip Asa and Maghrib. Get that joke.
MashaAllah. The first Juma, they're probably having the root salam that after, you know.
They're standing around looking like, wait, aren't we supposed to be singing and dancing after this? Like,
no, we're not. We're hyenas.
Oh man. All right, so this is Exhibit A, right? And this is the letter. So this is Sal had this. This is the letter that Mayor Ishmael Abdul Qadri, this is the letter that he wrote up and gave it to Mujtaba to give to Sal, right? So he said he was a volunteer, but he wrote in writing that he's the mayor, right? Put it in writing, right? Issued this himself, okay?
Document too, by the way.
So subject is Sal Rahim dismissed from community proper in Ahmedabad, Virginia. All right, so we'll just read through it and we'll cover some points. So the purpose of this letter is to officially inform you of your dismissal from TMOA property in Virginia, pending the Honorable Shura Council decision and or a meeting with you. The reason for this dismissal from community property is because of your verbal refusal to pay membership dues. Because of you're verbally expressing you are not going to pay membership dues because you do not, this is hard to read, you do not know where they go. Our hope is that this dismissal will be temporary and that you can speak to our Honorable Shura Council, express your concerns, and get your questions answered, and then become compliant. You can contact the Honorable Shura Council for further instructions at shura@tmoaamerica.org. And the nigga signed it.
Mayor M. Ishmael A. Qadri. Listen, random TMOA pawns philanthropy people. Listen, ask yourself this: do you think that any of the admins paid membership dues? Be for real. No, they absolutely are not paying membership dues for themselves. Like, imagine that would be like me going in my wallet, getting $10 and handing it to myself. Like, here you go. I'm paying membership dues. Like, no, they're definitely not. They're definitely not paying membership dues. Y'all the one was getting scammed. Solid, smart. Everyone needs to come together and just say, I'm not paying any sort of dues to anyone. All right, I own this trailer. I own the TVs in here. My family, all mine. I am not paying a single cent ever again. And see what happens. Nothing.
So and y'all have to pay attention to the sequence in which these documents were getting released and stuff. First of all, they never give you a personalized dismissal with that personal signature just for you, a special one. And then the next day is when they put out that official dismissal that they sent to the whole Jamaat that we covered earlier.
Oh, we covered that already.
We already showed it, and everybody then got it.
Yep.
So this is what you put out first. And then you put the other one for the whole community out a day later. Make it make sense.
Yeah. And you know what they did here in this letter, or not they, Mayor Ishmael. So one, he's already TMOA and Ishmael have already committed perjury. They already have, right? Because we have evidence. They should have been able to see this evidence and say, oh, we can't claim he's a volunteer because this dude signed a letter confirming that he's the mayor of whatever. So like let's rewind this and say what would happen in a normal situation. If like what they were saying is true. So let's say I owned a business. Let's say R2F let's just say R2F, right?
Mm-hmm.
R2F, we have our nonprofit organization. And then let's say Ishmael. Ishmael shows up at an R2F apartment complex, gives them a letter and says, you are kicked out pending the honorable R2F council decision. You leave immediately because you don't pay your membership dues. And he signs the letter and says, mayor or president of R2F, right? And then we get this bogus lawsuit suing us for kicking somebody out of their home, right? And Ishmael, we're like, who the hell's Ishmael? There's no Ishmael part. This dude's not part of R2F. What would we do? First, we would contact the individual they kicked out and say, you are allowed to go back to your home. We did not kick you out. He was acting on his own. Two, we would basically press charges on Ishmael for impersonation of a R2F officer. We'd sue him and all these other things we would do before we even get to this place, right? TMOA has not done all that. Maybe they will if they're smart after they hear this advice. Ishmael, you better keep on the low because they might sue you. But this is what you would do if this was true. But we know it's not true because they're going to try to protect themselves and protect Ishmael as much as they can until they have to throw him under the bus. Mm-hmm. But we know this is a lie. Okay, so they already committed perjury. They had this when they submitted their petitions, which we will get to later. I think the next document we're going to cover.
Hold on, before you do that, Jafar, I want to cover one more thing with this.
Go ahead.
We're going to pull up, we're going to pull up Sal's, the public dismissal that they sent to everybody the next day and read it off so we can compare side by side. And you can see the contradictions, lies, perjury, and everything all in it like we keep on mentioning. But we're going to put it so y'all can see visually so you can know we're not lying.
Let me put it in a different, hold on, 1 second. Okay. Trying to protect the privacy of my chat. I don't want people seeing, oh, he talking to so-and-so?
And like, if you're Kari Ishmael or something, listen. Do not go down with the ship for these people. All right, listen. As soon as you get on that trial stand, I want you to be singing like Michael Jackson. Okay, I want you to be like, oh Lord, I want you to start singing immediately.
Be loyal. Was that his joke, right? It's be loyal.
I don't know, but listen. You want the official TMOA
that song was horrible, by the way.
All was terrible, but listen.
And all his Jones is terrible. I hate all Jamaat songs, to be honest. But anyway, that's a whole other show.
So this is the public one that they sent out to everybody the day after this one. This is what everybody got. Dear respected community members, we hope this reaches everyone well. We write to inform the community that Salman Rahim of Red House, Virginia has been dismissed from TMOA effective immediately. Salman Rahim has refused to follow the TMOA policies and made his stance clear. This is what they said to the public, and I told y'all time and time again, we all told y'all are puppets to them, and they only feed y'all selective information with specific wording to think a specific way. So they told y'all he refused to follow TMOA policy. And if you can pull up Kari Ishmael's letter now, this is the personal one that he got mushed, but hand delivered to Sal. On this one is a complete contradiction and a complete lie. On this one, they say he got kicked out because of your verbally refusal to pay membership dues. They clearly tell him right here in the personal letter, you're kicked out for not paying membership dues. You said it out of your own lips. And you told the public that he didn't follow TMOA policy because as soon as you said that, the people would have known. People would have known immediately and it would have exposed you. Y'all are nothing to them. They tell y'all what they want so y'all can be guppies and believe what they want. But right here in your face, you see the lies and the perjury. And these are documents that are going to be shown in court. These are documents that's going to be shown in court. So I'm going to give TMOA and Kari Ishmael, the best advice that I could possibly give you in this situation. And I'm no lawyer, I'm no specialist or nothing. I'm just Muhammad Ahmed Abdulaziz. The best thing you can do is go into the court and just admit to everything and just take the charges on the chin. That's the best thing you can do. I'm being honest. That's the best thing you can do.
He's right.
Yeah. If y'all do that, that's going to save the whole spiderweb waterfall effect that we were just talking about for the past 30, 45 minutes. It won't expose a bunch of that. Now, we want y'all to get up there and start lying y'all behinds off. Please, please go up there and perjury everybody. Oh, yes, please go do it. Because then that's going to expose everything. And that's what we want, to take this whole machine, burn this whole machine down.
I mean, the satisfaction that I would get if Noor, K2, Ahmed Person, Mahmoud, Fadi Mahmoud, Hassan Ali, some of these people all got locked up for 2-3 years on account of perjury in Virginia. I will be putting money on their books just for
No, we have to make some kind of regular scheduled visits, to show up. Hey, how y'all doing here?
Going in there,
get them those don't drop the soap things. They say you dropping the soap, hook them up.
Oh man!
Give them some loose cigarettes so they could trade for stuff in there.
Loose cigarettes is crazy.
Oh, that would be the best.
Oh my god! Now, everything Mo said is true.
Taken in and getting booked. Do you have any questions? We just.
Everything Mo said is true. You guys should go up there and tell the truth, but. If I know y'all, like I know y'all are too arrogant and prideful to ever admit any wrongdoing. So y'all dumbasses is about to get up there immediately and start lying. I'm talking about frame lie. As soon as you start speaking, lie. Not even a thought of telling the truth. Dee when she was at Hoots' trial. As soon as she started speaking, it was just lies. I was like, God damn! I'm like, you didn't even try to tell the truth. It's like, what the hell wrong with you? So y'all have to go up there and get cooked,
man. But even at this Muslim modus, again, we have technology, there's metadata behind every message. That message started with someone from the Shura Council wrote that original message up and then started forwarding it to people, right? They could trace exactly where the original message is. They can go back into the metadata and find it for a lot of cases. So whoever started that message, you're stuck. And the fact is, even if they don't go that far, they could just say so this message was sent all around the community, to the fact that it was also sent to people that don't belong to your community anymore, and y'all didn't do anything until now you're saying that this was all just a big misunderstanding months later. Bullcrap. The jury's gonna look at them yeah, y'all full of crap, liars.
I mean, and if I were y'all also, I mean, I know they're gonna try badly. They're gonna fail at it, but they're gonna try to scrub, their any sort of thing that they think is evidence or documentation or whatever. Don't try it. They'll still be able to track it down. They're gonna confiscate and subpoena your devices or whatever. All those old email addresses that you think that weren't using it, they're gonna ask you, hey, who is Landboy for Life 427? Are you familiar with this email address? And they're like, I never heard of it. Yeah, well, it's tied to the computer that you had that was in your name. They're gonna be able to track everything down. Just stop. Like Muhammad Ahmed already said, the best thing to do is the honorable thing to do. From an honorable standpoint, just tell the truth. But I mean, you can try to hide, but at the end of the day, you're going to be answerable to Allah anyway. So you probably should just go ahead and give it up and just tell the truth.
I mean, all right. So I'm going to share this document. So basically, they set a trial date,
or a hearing date.
Hearing date, yeah. So not a trial date, hearing date. And it's just an email confirmation that they're basically lawyers trying to ask for extension. He says, I have a conflict. So basically the one lawyer asked for can we do something December 6th? Sorry, respectfully, McLaughlin said, I have a conflict. I guess we'll go February 14th. So this is basically they're asking for an extension. This is like just lawyers going back and forth, and basically they confirmed that the hearing date is on February 14th.
Right. That's actually that was the document confirming the hearing date. But remember, they asked for more time, and we actually have.
Oh yeah, I got that one right now.
Yeah,
that's right. So this is the motion for extension. Okay. So that was confirming the hearing date, and then this is TMOA. No, wait, do we have? Where's the one where they submitted by themselves to dismiss?
That's after.
Okay.
That's after.
Okay.
They did after Sal did the complaint. Then they filed for the motion of extension to try to get more time to forge more documents and tell more lies.
Okay, so this is the motion.
That's what they came up with. That one after the motion to extend. Then they came up with that.
If you will please present it to the court and let me know the judge's decision as soon as you can, I would be most appreciative. Should you have any questions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it says, comes now the Muslim Americas by counsel and moves for an extension. One, defendant, the Muslim Americas, was served with the complaint in this case on November 3rd, making the deadline, taking into account court closures, to file a responsive pleading November 27th. Your undersigned was just retained by defendant. So basically they're saying they were just served. We were just retained. These lawyers were just retained on November 16th. Due to the Thanksgiving holiday, your undersigned has not been able to meet with this client to adequately respond to the complaint because, they had holidays, so they couldn't meet. Your undersigned desires an extension of at least 14 days to respond to the complaint filed herein. That your undersigned has consulted with opposing counsel who objects to an extension. However, your undersigned avers that brief extension will not prejudice the plaintiff. So that's the notification to extend. Yeah. So do we have the one from that was the petition?
That's what comes next.
Which one is that? Do I have that one? Which one is that one?
Yes.
What's it called?
The motion to dismiss, not the other.
No, because there's okay. Let me see. Let me see if I have the right one.
Just open them up. That one has a specific name on it. It should have Brewster on it.
So I have the big. Wait. Yeah, I have the big one. Do we have the one for the other? I don't have that one. Let me see.
All right.
It should be in our chat, right?
It should be in there.
Okay, documents.
Wait 1 second.
Warrant with complaint. Oh, you posted it? Okay. Random. Okay. Oh, shoot.
Oh, we ready for this. We ready.
Random Fatih Brewster motions. This one was kind of funny. This one was really. It's not as funny as the official TMOA complaint, but this one is really funny.
This is like this was like the first line. That was like the throw them a bone kind of thing. And just try to throw this out there to hope they can get a bite.
These Negroes thought they were dealing with the Sheriff Council. That's what they thought. All right, so this is submitted by the Muslims of America. It was an initial motion to dismiss Sal's case. And this is the reasons why they put to dismiss the case. Okay. Number one, the plaintiff's complaint was served upon defendant, the Muslims of America, with the address. Okay. So they're saying this TMOA is basically saying, we got this complaint. And it says the above mentioned defendant does not own any property in the Commonwealth of Virginia, nor does it have any current or expired agreement with the plaintiff of this action for which relief is sought. So basically what they're saying in this point is that TMOA does not own any property in Virginia. They're saying we don't own the land. We don't own it, even though it's on the deed. You don't think the lawyer checked this stuff before he submitted a complaint?
Of course not.
It's so sloppy. Just like they're going to go to the courts and just say, like, yeah, we don't own it. But then in the next breath say, and we don't have any agreement with the guy, right? For renting them. Okay. So because if you didn't own the property, you would just stop right there. Like, we don't own any property. So how can we rent anything to anybody? then they say the defendant believes in good faith that the plaintiff intended to bring forth an action against another party with a similar styled name.
Oh my God.
You got the name wrong and stuff like that.
He didn't know who he was suing. He meant to sue the other TMOA, the Muslims of Antarctica.
I mean, this. I mean, for the people that are in TMOA, do y'all really believe this point number 3? Do y'all really believe that Sal meant to sue someone else? Come on now. I mean, this is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, he lived on some other land, right? That just happened to have the same business name, TMOA, right? And they just sent the complaint to the wrong address.
Ridiculous, man.
Oh my gosh.
Which just shows again that they're brazen with their lying. They're very blunt and arrogant about it. And once again, once you see who this is coming from, where it's coming from, there's the actual, there you go, right there.
Well, first they say, okay, they want to dismiss it with prejudice or whatever. They want to get dismissed for those reasons. Right. And here's who submitted it. I don't know who Fatima Brewster is, but oh my goodness. So Muslims America Pro Se, that means they submitted it on themselves. Pro Se means you're representing yourself. So they didn't have a lawyer draft this. Obviously, they didn't have a lawyer draft this. Right. Obviously, right? So they're like, let's take a shot at this ourselves, even though we have lawyers in TMOA.
Somebody watched an episode of Matlock and then just decided to go at it.
But you gotta think about this.
Oh my goodness. I can do that.
I gotta go back to that brazen lion. They were just saying that he sent it to the wrong people and whatnot. If he sent that to the wrong people, how would you know that unless you were actually the real people that he sued? Because if you were just somebody that didn't know them, how would you know that he's suing them over there? Because you never received no documents over there.
Yeah,
literally. So obviously, TMOA went and told her.
Oh man,
I think that's Jalal Wasi's wife.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think she's the mayor or something on the Maharan land.
Wait, hold on.
Like that.
Look at Foxy.
She moved right there, vice president. She's vice president. And then they just spelled it out, the Muslims of America, even though that's TMOA, but they just try to spell it out fully and act like it was somebody different. But once again, blatant lie. So they knowingly know that they are TMOA, and he sued the right company by you responding and sending them to dismiss this. How are you dismissing? How are you dismissing something that you never got? You know what I'm saying? How are you dismissing a document you never got? Unless TMOA wins, you send this falsified document.
Oh my God!
How moronic this is.
It's so ridiculous because y'all already know that Sal is part of a community. So y'all shouldn't even know who Sal even is. How do y'all even know him? Like, you're like, oh, he went to sue another community. Okay, so that the community that he was a part of for the last however many years, and then where he did have property on, that's the community, not y'all. So
the thing is, right?
I shouldn't even know him.
It's so silly because a judge is not going to dismiss something based off of the defendant saying, "Oh, you got the wrong." Imagine if life worked that way. You get arrested, you just tell the cop, "No, you got the wrong one." Oh,
exactly, yeah.
Right.
Now we suing gins.
Meanwhile, the person that you robbed is like, "No, that's the dude." The judge like, "Well, he said he was the wrong guy." You better come.
Good God.
Oh, poor Fatima. Poor Fatima. Poor Fatima.
Mayor currently is Barak. MB.
Oh man.
Oh no.
So now, but what is it? What is it? So here's the thing. So, and now TMOA, this is how members, you have to kind of recognize some of the games that TMOA plays, and one of the signs of a cult or any kind of criminal syndicate is that the people that are actually in charge on paper aren't in charge. Fatima Brewster is listed as the vice president, which means there's somebody else listed. I forget. We went and Googled their incorporation, but there's a president and a vice president listed on the incorporated documents of TMOA. That is not Noor or anybody that's on the Shura Council. Why? Right. Because they're hiding behind, they're putting people in front of them that in case they get sued, like now, or there's some kind of criminal enterprise or something happens, the people that are actually in charge, like the cult leaders, actually don't get any flack from it. They can keep all their money in their cash. I bet you Noor doesn't show up to one of these. Absolutely. She's not going to show up to not one court case.
This is at all. The only ones that are going to show up are some of the admin that have to, that their signatures are on is smoke screens in their pawns, and they're willingly walking to the bullets because they think it's something honorable. Fatima Brewster just injected herself into the whole justice system and the whole case now. That she put her name on that document and submitted that document. So she's going to have to be called up there and face perjury now as well. Y'all aren't doing anything but incriminating yourselves. Now, the caveat is we're getting to some truth. The truth that we already know that y'all won't even accept and look at. When y'all get into the court, it's going to be like your eyes are just going to be glued open because you're going to have no choice but to look at the truth that y'all been avoiding for years that we've been telling y'all.
Too bad it's haram, but it would have been nice to get just to pay some random person to do those court drawing things. You know what I mean? But make it comical.
Yeah. Pictures they have them crazy.
Maybe we can get that justified as like under education or something. Education for kids.
For kids, making a kids book. Because I mean at this point it is child's play.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, so who's listed on there, Amr? I can't read it. It's time to.
Abdul-Azim M. Mujahid is the president of whatever this is, the Muslims of America Non-Stock Corporation, 81 Mahiran Drive, Mahiran, VA. It was updated in 2018. So that is the president.
Wait, what kind of corporation is it?
It's entity, a non-stock corporation, Series LLC.
It's not a non-profit corporation?
It says non-stock corporation.
I wonder what that means. I'd have to look up my stuff, but if that's a for-profit corporation, that should be a sign for all you guys in TMOA. Like they just put it blatantly out there. Like, this is a business that we're making money off of. Like they're not even to abandon the non-profit status is a whole nother level. Jeez.
Like again, and for Fatih and anyone else, like listen, you guys came in a lot of fire for no reason whatsoever. Like you didn't have to. Why did you feel the need to go out of your way personally in something you weren't really involved in? And like, I'm gonna go put my stamp in here officially in legal document terms. Like,
she thought she was gonna save the day with this one.
You're not gonna be the hero. It's not how it works. This isn't a movie where like, oh, I'm the main character. No, you're probably gonna have to go there on trial. Probably will, most likely, and testify, perjury, all this stuff. Might end up in jail.
Yeah.
Listen, I knew Fatih growing up. So listen, Fatih, if you happen to be going to jail, before you go, please give me your samosa recipe. Okay, like your samosas are elite. All right, so before you go to jail, give me your samosa recipe. I don't need you to waste away for 10 years. Like, I need them.
Yo, I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling kind of bad because I know she probably printed this, was feeling so proud. Like, I did it. I did.
Yeah, I mean, probably signed that joint with pride.
Oh,
I'm doing this.
Yeah, for the look at that signature. That's a proud signature, man. Like she might have practiced on a scrap paper before she hit it up.
I mean, you ever see like a punching bag or a buffer or a bumper or something that just used just to protect something or someone else from some damage or whatever? That's all really you signed up for. Because think about this. When you have to get drugged to court over and over and over again, I mean, I don't know if you have a job or not, but I mean, no one's going to pay you for your missed time, your missed wages, maybe lose your job because you got to keep going to court. But guess what? Noor ain't going to miss no time at her job because she ain't got one. I mean, and she actually, but they probably still will make you pay the membership dues. The dues is probably going to go up. This is something I was going to mention earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the lawsuit and then all of a sudden they just say, oh, you know what? Either they have they have these rooms where they we're raising funds for some whatever cause or whatever, or they say everybody, it used to be 10% or 20%, now it's 42%, and it's going to be 42% for the next X amount of years. they're not going to say it because they have to pay for the lawsuit, but they're probably going to do it like that. But if your dues do go up after this lawsuit, after they lose this lawsuit, know that it's probably because they have to pay for it. But you know,
what's the address to the land that Sal lived on?
I just let me try to pull this free stream up. I'm not sure. What is it? Jelani Lane or something like that?
Sheikh Jelani Lane, I think so. Sheikh Jelani Lane.
Something of that nature. I'm trying to pull this free stream back up.
I got it. It's I got it right here. Huh?
While you pull that up, I had just started looking up what a non-stock corporation is. It has some nuggets in there. It has some goodies. So we're going to have to look into that and really, that'll uproot some more corruption, but we're going to have to go look at it, break it down, then that'll be for another show. There's a difference between a nonprofit and a non-stock organization. So either somebody didn't know what they were doing when they filed over there, or they knew what they were doing when they filed over there.
There you go.
So what is the name of it?
This is Sheikh Jelani Lane. This is in Pampa.
How do they spell Sheikh?
Give me his preview and go back to the thing. Sheikh.
And then Jelani.
Gilani.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to see if I could quickly find out because deeds are public record. They usually could pull up somewhere and you can see whose name's on the deed. But I just wanted to point out
market right there, official store apparently on Google. So can't get out of that one.
The Fatima lady, she already committed perjury.
But
the vice president
in the hearing land though, so it'll be a different.
Well, she committed perjury because she said Tmoa is a Tmoa. The above mentioned defendant Tmoa does not own any property in Virginia. That's what she claimed. And then she says, nor has it any current or expired agreement with the claimant of this action for which relief is sought. So she already committed perjury. Like before she even got on the stand, she already committed perjury by putting her name on this document and complaint and stating that Tmoa does not own any property in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Because who owns this right here? Hamza's Market, Sheikh Jelani Lane, Hussein Lane, Fatima Drive.
Yeah.
Hussein. Yeah.
And when we get to their other motion to dismiss, they basically confirm that Fatima was lying by some of the stuff that they say in their other dismissal. And now these are all legal documents. And if I was the lawyer, I would press them on every single one of these, of every aspect that they lied about, just to show the jury and the judge that they're going to lie about everything, and hopefully Sal can get his money. But everybody, tune and ask questions now because we're going to be signing off pretty soon. And next week we will be covering Tmoa's official dismissal that they filed, not pro se, not on their own. They had a lawyer actually sign it, and it would be nice to interview the lawyer and be like, what were you thinking when you actually press submit on that button to send that document on behalf of Tmoa? Because that dude, I don't know how he gets paid to do what he does, because he just must be looking at it as like a free check. Like, oh, they paying me. I don't give a crap. Absolutely. That's how lawyers are sometimes. You know,
never gonna lose. And just reiterate once again, like people, Tmoa will tell you, hey, this, or they'll tell the judge, and this man here is not so and so. As we covered last week, and I have right here again the whole official document from Tmoa, written the oath style, with all the jurors signing it, saying, hey, Kari Ismail has been appointed as the Khalifa, mayor, whatever the hell, of Red House land. So you can't say that he wasn't this or that, or I didn't know him, or this is official. It's signed by everyone here. All right? All the honorable so-and-so sounding mothers, whoever the hell other Fulani is, that it's right here. Okay. It's official. This is signed document. All right.
Yeah. This is the ones the old style where they actually put their signatures on everything. Because they don't do that anymore, because they don't want it's another level of protection for the people that are actually running the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, we're gonna keep saying it over and over. People in Tmoa, ask yourselves, why do our leaders need to lie? Why do we need to lie? Why do we need to lie to the people about having colleges named IQOU for the last 40, 50 years? Why do we got to lie to the people and say that certain people are doctors when they're not? Why do we got to lie to people and say that we don't collect membership dues?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we got to, like, we can keep going on and on and on of the well-known lies that are repeated over and over in TMOA, and no one's ever asking, hey, why are we lying?
Yeah.
Why are we lying?
And
why are we lying that we tried to bomb places and we assassinated people and killed people and we do halalas and my Sheikh married an 11-year-old, and like, why do we need to lie about this stuff?
Yeah. And just think about, like, why is it that all of a sudden we can go on defensive mode and fight back when we're going to trial, but when R2F has been saying for 3-4 years that our aqidah and religion is null and void for the most part, we don't say a thing. We're quiet. But the law of America, right, which is less important to you because overall, like, Allah judges who he wills. So it's going to matter more in the akhirah when you guys are upon falsehood, but you didn't say anything about it. You just sit there like, oh, it's fine. It's just going to be, they don't know what I'm talking about. But now all of a sudden, it's full on defense mode now. You got to go fight back and say this is wrong.
And we're going to keep emphasizing. I didn't mean to cut you off. We're going to keep emphasizing the bald-faced lies that they keep on telling you. They have no shame in telling these lies. If they are going to lie and are lying, as we just showed y'all numerous times, and we didn't even get to the core of the lies, but they're telling lies on official documents to people that can actually do something to them, that can actually put them behind bars, take their money away, shut the whole operation down. They're lying to them. Imagine how bad they're lying to y'all who can do nothing to them and they don't take y'all serious at all. Mm-hmm. The similarity that we see with the Dreamer cult and this cult and any other cult, you will prove the lies right there to them and they will dismiss them like they're nothing. They'll always lie, completely dismiss it, and then keep acting like everybody's honorable and everybody's trustworthy, and they keep following their directives as if they weren't just lying to you. If a liar is lying, you're being lied to. Believe them. But this is the thing. They're blinded and enamored with this false illusion of honor and integrity and courage and all this stuff, and it's just completely falsified. Once again, they're lying to y'all on crazy levels, just like they're lying on these documents, but the documents are going to hold them to account. And y'all can hold them to account too. Y'all just have to grow some.
Yep.
Honestly, y'all got to grow some.
After watching the show,
stronger than y'all think.
After watching this show, y'all should all go up, like, next time they ask you for membership dues, like, we don't pay membership dues. We ain't never paid membership dues.
Never have. Never right.
Y'all ain't never collected either.
I hope that the freaking, like, judge and stuff asks about the whole Lighthouse Academy IQU school. Because if this IQU school has been around since my mother was, like, going overseas. And she's a official graduate, all right, from that for doctorate, all right. So if that school has been around for 20, 30 plus years, all right, why did they need to all of a sudden gather money for a school over here? It should have just been funded from overseas if it's been around for so long. Like most colleges, when they go to expand, like, oh, I have money from this, like VCU, they wanted to build a whole new campus. They had the money already saved and stored up. So why all of a sudden now for this brand new IQU branch? Who
opens up a college, tries to open up a college and then get donations immediately before it's even done, renovated or nothing.
Over there.
Then they had a graduation before the first semester.
They had a graduation. The building had electricity. I have a graduation up there with extension. Make it make sense. You have no electricity.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This crap is hilarious.
Y'all be getting paid for a fool, but like I remember when we used to have Call Giovanni, or anyone for that matter, used to have Call Giovanni. You had to like buy a disposable payphone because he didn't want to have an actual phone tracked to his phone. Like, everything y'all do is just on the down. Like, I know it's
Yeah, when you on that mafia mob boss type time, you know something is wrong. Like
Yeah.
That should be a red flag right there for sure.
Exactly. All right, so tune in next week, and I mean, we're gonna cover as it happens. So next week will be, the 25th, and then we don't know if there'll be any other petitions submitted before then, but we'll try to find out. We'll try to keep you informed. We'll keep you updated on what happens at the hearing at was the 14th, February 14th. If you're in the VA area, stop by because court's public. You can all just show up and just witness what's going on. And do we have any questions in the chat or no?
No, but for you, no worries.
For you,
no. Okay, listen, I'm gonna give. Listen, I remember like maybe 3-4 years ago, I was talking to a bar, right? And we were like, listen, imagine like when Tmoa just crumbles down, right? And one day we're just going to McDonald's, right? And see K2. Give him such a hard time, bro.
No. What would be even better if he worked at a Waffle House here?
Oh yeah, throwing chairs at people.
That's a cheat, nigga.
He's gonna try to talk to him like, hey, talk to people in the Jamal. Listen here, listen here, what, nigga? What the hell you think you are?
You think we want your pennies? You think you want your dollars?
No tips for you.
Take your pennies.
Wait.
I need those tips, bro. I need them tips. Work it over, man.
Oh man. The bottom line is, y'all, this stuff is, I mean, we don't do anything besides just talk. And you can see just a law works and it has everything happen in due time. You can see this stuff slowly unraveling, but a law giving people so much time to like get out from under it. So, but by the time this finally falls, anybody that falls with it is literally just like, you're not going to feel bad for them or anything because you had all this time to just get away from this nonsense. And one last thing I want to say, and anybody else can go after me, but for you people, the multiple people that are in TMOA functioning in administration, they have already confessed that they don't believe in this, that it's fake, it's false, and all that. But you're still in the circles, collecting money from people, running things, and acting like nothing's wrong. There's a certain point you got to kind of question your integrity, because that stuff is like that's what hypocrites do. Some of you have had years to take steps to leave, except you're still sitting there acting like you're part of the Shura Council or mayors and all these different places. It's time to leave, especially now. It's time to leave. It's very possible that every single mayor, council member, and Shura Council member could be called in as a witness in this. So that's all I have to say. Anybody else anything else so we close out?
One thing, just some breaking news. Lahut Khan is in Pakistan.
Where is it?
It's in Pakistan. It's definitely in Pakistan. If people were trying to find a way to get to Lahut Khan, it's in Pakistan. Gift shop and everything. Just go ahead. You just don't show up before 5 a.m. because they're not open. But Lahut Khan is in Pakistan.
Stop at the gift shop, bro. Get your little trinkets, bro, for being a Houthi and being delusional. All right, get taken care of. Inshallah, we'll be back on Monday. Jaffer and I will be.
Oh, that's right.
I got some quick closing statements. Yeah, let me go.
Go ahead.
You already know, but I'm gonna make it real quick. I'm just gonna make it real quick. I gotta always drive the same point home because I'm big on giving perspective. I don't try to change nobody's mind or heart. I just try to give you perspective so y'all can make your own decisions. People are grown. Once again, we're not coming on the show showing y'all official documents for any other reason than for y'all to see the truth and make the correct decision, the right decision. These people y'all consider honorable, and these people that are in leadership that are pointing the finger, telling y'all what to do and using y'all as shields, they're very manipulative, it's diabolical, and it's evil because they're thinking these official documents that they're typing up and putting that signature on are well thought out. These are well thought out, complex lies to cover obviously something. It's not impulsive lies. You got caught red-handed with something, but then you just impulsively tell a lie. These are well thought out lies to systematically try to cover corrupt tracks. This is the people that y'all are following. This is the character and who they are. If they're going to lie on official documents, who are you to think that they're going to tell you the truth? I can't emphasize this enough. Have more self-dignity, have more self-respect. Y'all are worth more than y'all think. Now it's the time to grow some, band together, and get off this shit, because trust me, it's going down. With y'all on it or with y'all off it.
That's very well said, and that kind of like leads into our show we're gonna do on Monday, inshallah. Was we had a sister who was gonna come on initially a couple of years back and defend Tmoa's honor and say that you guys are wrong for saying anything at all about Tmoa and my Sheikh and my Sheikha and all the good that they've done. And now we see them a year or two later, and it's like, okay, well now I'm here to say what's wrong with Tmoa. And so everyone can get that chance. Everyone has the opportunity to while you're still alive, right? Make the right choice, make the correct stance, take a step forward. All right. No point being stuck there on the ship. You guys know it's sinking. It's clearly not going uphill anymore. A lot of people will say, hey, it's not I don't follow Noor. It's just my loyalty to Jelani. Jelani's gone. His time is coming past. He's in the grave. His affairs are now with Allah. Your affairs are still going on. You have things to do. You can repent and move forward with your life. So there's no point for you to be stuck there. Sal is suing them. Join the lawsuit. Hey, class action lawsuit. Sue them for everything you're worth. Have them no go bars, nothing. No one for Sultan without nothing. It could all go back to its rightful owners, which is y'all. But instead, don't want to be stuck there just dying. There's no point to it, right? Because they don't care about you at all. Uncle Abim said it best maybe a year or two ago, right? This is a family business. You're not family. So they can throw you all on the bus. All right, Ahmed Pearsons, you're trying to be down with the cause, a loyal member. Your father's still alive. Go reconnect with your father. I see your father every Friday. Go reconnect with your father. So there's no point for that. All right. So if you guys are gonna be here Monday, inshallah, tune in. Should be a good show. Jaffer and I will be hosting, and we will try to get that done. I'm not sure when. It's like 8 p.m. maybe, Jaffer? 7?
8 p.m. Yep.
8 p.m. Monday, Jaffer and I will be hosting an interview. And listen, if we always say, listen, if you want to come to an interview, it is free. All right, it is free. All you got to do is contact Jaffer, Mubarak, and I, or any one of us. Say, hey, I want to do an interview. We can set it up for you. Time works for you. Ask some questions and go on about your day. It's not hard. I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you're for Tmoa, against Tmoa, for MQ, against MQ, whatever. Anything. Just come, talk to us. Inshallah, we'll have a good, productive show for all that's involved. And I think that's it. And I have more questions. So, Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.